Good morning and welcome to Essential Ingredients. I want to just say hi to my friends and community that are weekly listeners and viewers. And to those that are new, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Now, to those newcomers, as well as those loyal followers, we have a very exciting guest for you today. Seena Chriti, who is from Packley Foods. So I'm super excited to bring her to you today. She is a brand on a mission to bring delicious Mesoamerican snacks to a brand new audience. So stay tuned for this really interesting conversation to better learn and understand what Mesoamerican snacks are and where you can find them and why they're better for you. So you're not going to want to miss this. Stay tuned. Good morning, Seena. It's great to
Mm.
have you here.
Thank you, Justine. Thank you very much.
So, Sina, I'm so excited to learn about Packley. I know we ran into each other and I saw your booth at Expo West and I tried your snacks and I loved them.
Mm.
Not all snacks are created equal, and yours were really tasty. There was a lot to choose from there.
Thank you.
So, talk to me a little bit about what is Packley.
Mm. Yeah, so Pakli, it's a snack inspired by the Mexican alegrías. It is made with puffed quinoa, millet, amaranth, and chocolates. The Mexican alegrías are made with puffed amaranth and honey or chocolate, and we decided to make it a very elevated version of the Mexican alegrías. Pakli means joy in the language of the Aztecs, and alegrías means joy in Spanish. So I wanted to honor the name also. And I added the quinoa and millet to make them more relatable to the market.
So, what's your background originally that brought you into creating a CPG product?
Yeah, that's a beautiful question. I studied culinary arts in Mexico City in a beautiful university downtown with a bachelor's that lasted 5 years with a focus on food and culture. That's my main love, food and media and making food known in different media outlets. So I've been involved with TV and magazine and newspapers all my life, and I always wanted to have my own manufacturing company. And particularly this snack has been following me in my head for 20 years, and it started handmade and exactly like I wanted it, and I brought it to market in farmers markets like I knew, but now it is growing to a CPG company. That's a term that I only learned after I started my company. I've
Wow,
learned so I've learned so many things. At first, I just wanted to create a snack, and now it's a CPG company. Yeah.
amazing, amazing. So, coming from excuse me. So coming from media and food, with that being your background, it sounds like you had a lot of experience in those fields, but not necessarily as an entrepreneur. So what was it like to make that journey from working in those outlets to now launching a snack which has become a CPG company as an entrepreneur?
Yeah. I have, I don't have an MBA. I only have this food knowledge background, and that doesn't make me an expert either. Um, but I do have a research basics. So I know how to inquire, and I also know how to connect. So and I'm very resourceful. So I have been just digging and grinding through my process, always finding the answers when I need them, and really being open and receptive to my intuition. And I have really built not only a network of people that help me, but I've also become a resource for others. Yeah, and finding the right places to help me incubate in my journey. And I also have been very lucky to be part of like incubator kitchens and also accelerator programs that have given me a lot of the tools uh, to continue on my journey, ongoing learning process.
Can you maybe share a couple of the key reasons why you find those incubators were so integral to you being able to build the company that you have today? What were the big three takeaways maybe from that?
Yeah. So at first, when I was researching the recipe in my house and getting the molds and the image and the design all together at once, I found an incubator kitchen in Cincinnati that gave me the place where I could get my license to be able to have a food business, which I wouldn't have been able otherwise. And they also told me we have a farmers market, so you can also sell there. So it gave me those two outlets to start. Once I was in it, then I started getting into the ecosystem of food businesses in Cincinnati. So then I got a grant from Main Street Ventures that gave me $30,000. So those things have been integral to my growth. And like I said, I've been part of some accelerator programs. So 10,000K Goldman Sachs was a huge one for me in Cincinnati that helped me grow, like to build a growth plan where I was had to be very ambitious with it. And after 2 years, I accomplished it. And
Wow,
then
amazing.
last year was my one of my key ones was I was part of the PepsiCo Greenhouse Accelerator program for Latino owned businesses in the US, and that one was incredible. I had mentors from Pepsi for 6 months. So everyone has given me a takeaway. Yeah.
So I know you launched the company in 2020, and as you said, you kicked off your selling it at farmers market. Can you talk to us a little bit about how you went from farmers markets to stores?
For me, the most natural way was to sell in farmers markets. It's the easiest way for you to present a product to the market and to get feedback instantly. So it was a way for me to get product recognition and validation right away, and feedback. And I also started in local stores, in mainly coffee shops, to understand what my target market was. And farmers markets have been the most magical way for me to obtain what I need. So one of the key takeaways in the beginning was a woman came to me in one of the markets and she said, I am in Cincinnati. So she was a Kroger buyer and she said, I'm a fan of your product. I buy it at my local store, but I have feedback that I want to give you. So she said, your snacks are too large. They used to be like a big circle handmade. And she said, they're too crumbly. I need them in a bite size in a pouch. That's the only way that you will grow. And she became my angel. And I kept seeing her in expos. And she's a very important figure in the natural world, but she found me in a market.
So talk to me a little bit about what people's reception, how they receive the product as you're showing it in your very first experiences at the farmers market. What are you hearing and seeing from people?
I have learned a lot. I learned about patterns of like who likes to buy um in the family. In the beginning I was shocked to see a lot of women coming, and then when a man would come, they would say, oh, it's very nice, let me give it to my wife to see if she likes it. So they needed the approval of the wife to buy. But I have also been surprised, and a lot of women ignore me, and the husbands come and they buy from me. So it's a very, I'm just always learning to be open and to be receptive to whatever comes my way. Yeah, yeah.
I
But
think it's super
I've learned
important.
so much, and I've received so much feedback. Like I really have confirmed a lot of my ideas in the markets.
So, what role does education play for you in getting people to better understand your product?
I mean, it's integral in my journey, but you have to have a product that speaks for itself. I can't be in the shelves talking about it. So I have worked with consultants in order to help me say the message as well as possible in my packaging, where people are not deceived. When they see the product, they expect crunchiness, and it's not crunchy, it's puffy. So I had to explain in the package that it's a puffy, pillowy snack so that people wouldn't be deceived, even though I'm not telling them it's crunchy, but that's what they expect.
So, going from one industry to now being an entrepreneur to, kicking off your business first at the farmer's market, now in the stores, what was the biggest obstacle to date that you experienced with going from a smaller, um, format like the farmer's market to rolling out to a much larger format like the grocery store?
The main obstacle, which was a throughout, like from year second up until now, was actually finding the resources to and the right technology to make the bites. It took me a long time to locate the right technology and then to find the money to be able to buy it. I had to become certified woman and minority to get a loan from the state with a 0% interest to buy my $100,000 machine. So now I have the machine, and now I'm scalable. Of course, had to go through all the process of rebranding and re-understanding. So that is done. Okay, but now I have only sold in 40, 70 local stores. I didn't need a system. I didn't need anything. And now I don't have inventory systems or CRM to go through my clients. So I now my roadblock now is understanding how to grow without getting messy, how to actually flow. So all of that is another huge learning curve, and I'm still on my own, and I can't pay an operations director and a sales director. So I need to figure this out very soon before I start growing. And I'm already national in home goods. I already launched in 1,000 stores, but I need to implement systems. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's really important. And I think it's the difference between when we kick off a new venture, we're very scrappy, but there's a point where you have to become strategic. And so it sounds like you're at that pivotal time where you've gone from being scrappy because you're doing it all yourself and you're getting it all done to now realizing you need to implement and be a bit more strategic about how you go about doing it so that you can continue to grow and explode every. So, are there any other traditional snacks that you see will be part of your future growth?
So the original snack in Mexico is actually binded with something called piloncillo, which is a combination of like molasses with honey. It's a very interesting flavor. And I tried to do that one at first, but I wasn't able to make it stable enough. So I would like to venture into natural binders like agave syrups and things like that. Um, so I like the idea of using the ancient grains because not only does it tap into Mexico and Latin America, but it also is with the trend that is now so sought after of puffed ancient grains, which are becoming really huge. Um, if I go into other types of snacks, I just want them to be very clean and yeah, I don't want to be another chip, even if it's that's already too conventional for me. Yeah.
I think it's also interesting because traditionally speaking, if you look at all these different cultures and the snacks and the foods that we've had over time, and you look back a couple decades, they weren't always so healthy. And now the focus has really pivoted to being healthy and transparent. And I think when you speak of cultural foods, oftentimes we were trying to figure out how to make that 2.0 version, right? How do we make that version with better for you products? And it sounds like you're going through that process in this moment too, to explore something that's culturally really important and you want to bring it to the market here, but equally think about how to do it in a better way.
Yeah, that's exactly my target customer, the one that is open to trying foods from other countries, especially Mexico, which is a very popular country where people like their street food, but they are also looking for healthy versions of those authentic ethnic foods. That is the customer that I'm looking for.
So, when you look forward, you've been doing this company since 2020, it's 2025 now. When we look at the next few years, what are your goals? What are you hoping to achieve?
I'm hoping to continue learning and to be sustainable, and yes, I would love to grow. Um, but again, it has to make sense. Um, so I will launch in Sprouts innovation section in September. It's only a 3-month trial. After that, I don't know. I would like to at some point connect with Whole Foods and see if I can explore something there while I understand my operations and my production process to be always on top. And yes, I would like to be a very sustainable company soon.
Oh, I mean, I loved your product when I tried it there. And I'd love to, how many flavors do you have?
I have 4 flavors.
Can you talk to us a little bit about the flavors?
Yeah, I have white chocolate and milk chocolate, and then the two dark ones are vegan with dark chocolate with blueberry and cacao nibs, and extra dark chocolate, which is 70% with cranberry and cashews. And they all have the same basis of puffed amaranth, quinoa, and millet in the same proportion. Amaranth is the smallest, and quinoa is the middle, and millet is the puffiest. So that one gives a lot of the volume.
Well, Sina, it was so great to catch up with you. I'm really excited for your product. I'm really excited to see you in more stores.
Mm.
For those folks that want to connect with you, maybe they are in the business, maybe they're um, curious about investing or collaborating. What's the best way to connect with you?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, I'm open to many types of collaborations with brands, with professionals, and with investors, of course, and stores. They can contact me at Seena, Seena, at packleyfoods.com. Packley, my website, it's packleyfoods.com, PAKTLIFOODS.
For those tuning in today, whether they're watching the video or they're listening to the podcast, we've come to the end. So, is there a special discount we can offer those listeners?
Yes, they can go to my website, and they can use the code 10, then the percentage sign off, all caps. And to be honest, it can be used repetitively. It's not a one-time code.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that tip with us. We'll make sure to let our community know. I want to thank you for joining us. I want to thank our community and our friends for tuning in today to learn about your journey and the importance of culturally, culture and its role in food and how people are diving into that in today's environment where transparency and sustainability are so important. So thanks so much for tuning in. And if you watch us on YouTube, don't forget you can download us on any place you listen to podcasts, whether it's iTunes or iHeartRadio at Essential Ingredients with Justine. We'd love to have you download, like, and subscribe. Leave us a message or a review. You can also follow us on Instagram at Essential.Ingredients. We'll follow you back, and we'd love to connect and hear what you want to hear from us.